wasn't really much projected, but yet it came, and ground crew did a great job. Just can't say enough about those men and what they mean to our program. So it was a real nice day for us, and that I thought we did a lot of things right. We were able to get Ahern in the ball game, and that was the one young man that we had not gotten in 2 weeks, and ironically he was the last guy that pitched. So when you see how excited we are about what he brings to the table, a lot of work to do, but it'll be fun to watch his development. Probably the big hit in the game was J.C. Flowers. I mean, there was a lot of big things. I mean, something that doesn't go unnoticed by me was Rafael Bornegal with a man on third and one out in the infield back, and he hit a ground ball on purpose, just tapped the ground ball to score a run for us. That's total display of a teammate, and I'm very proud of the way he approached that at-bat. Questions?
You mentioned it right off the bat, J.C. Flowers, 2 of 3 today. He has as many doubles through a couple weeks as he did all of last year. Just how much have you seen in the offseason him progress and turn into what he's been able to accomplish early on in the season?
I think J.C., having played in a good summer program, and he saw other young men that played in Division I schools, it did him a lot of good. I think that he had a good fall, started off in the spring, very impressive. Just glad to see him playing with the poise, even though there was a mistake today. He plays with poise, and I'm very proud of the young man and the progress that he's making.
Coach, Austin made his first start today. Just what did you think of his performance?
I tell you, the guy is I mean, let's play baseball. Let's go. Let's see what happens. That's his approach. And I got to be honest with you, he's a lot different than I thought he would be. I thought he would come over in the fall and be a little bit, intimidated. Have not seen any of that. And I knew he was pretty good when I overheard a couple of players talking. And it was kind of like one guy was holding his hand over his mouth, and he said, I can't see the ball off that guy. Can you see it? Because he has a tendency to keep the ball here longer than average. I'll do it right-handed. When he comes at you, he'll come at you like this, and you don't pick the ball up as quickly as you would off of a normal release point. But he pitched well. He pitched with poise. Had a couple of opportunities to feel sorry for himself and fold the tent. Kept battling. We got him at 90. Well, y'all got him at 86. We got him at 90 or 91, but he threw the ball very well. 3 strikeouts. I think early in the game, he was up with his fastball, and that is what's so encouraging for us is then we saw a guy make an adjustment. He started throwing the ball down. Just as a side note, when you lose probably, I bet you we lost 30 baseballs today as a result of foul balls. You know you got velocity on the mound. And it started with AP and ended with a guy throwing 93, 94. And there were a lot of baseballs fouled off.
With the way Cubby has pitched to start the season, just how encouraging is it with how far he's come, from his freshman year and then through the injury to just come back and be having the success that he is so far?
Yeah, Cubby is really, excited to be competing again. It's hard on a young man, as we all know, to lose something that you enjoy so much. And now that he's got that back, he's taking every advantage that he can of it. You know, he's an engineering major, he's a 4.0 student, he's a great Seminole. Let's hope that he continues to get better. He had his curveball going pretty good today. And he gives us a big lift to have an experienced guy in the bullpen.
What's it like for you to coach a team? You mentioned experience, but he had been out for so long. You don't have a lot of experienced relievers, so you have to go to guys that don't have a lot of innings. What's that been like for you? What's that transition been like for you? And are you happy with the results so far?
I'm happy with the results. It's been challenging because ball one, ball two is not something that I'm very comfortable with. And when you're dealing with young men that are competing in this environment for the first time, there are going to be some ball one, ball twos. And Austin Pollock threw 86 pitches in 6 innings, which is not bad at all. But when Connor Grady throws 39 in 1 inning, that's something to be thinking about. Walked 2 in that inning and threw 39 pitches. Tyler Ahern threw 25 pitches and walked 2. You just got to understand that this is new to them. Rarely do you see a freshman go out there and just be himself the first time he gets on the mound in front of these great fans that we have. I'm trying to think back. We've had guys that you don't see any sign of nervousness. I mean, Tyler Holton was one of them, but there are others that turned out to be outstanding pitchers that were just a little bit uncomfortable when they went out there their first time. But then they settled down, like Tyler Ahern. Hopefully he'll get a lot better.
You excited though about what you've seen from really kind of all the arms that you've thrown out there so far?
Yeah, Connor Grady, Jonas Scalero, CJ has been getting his feet wet. He pitched better. The last time he was out, the first time, he wasn't very impressive. Why? First time he'd been in that environment. Tyler Ahern is going to be a guy now that, okay, let's go get better, and we're going to give him the ball.
Speaking of the weather, Pollard was sitting for about an hour and a half between the big bottom half of the second and the rain delay. What went into your decision in letting him come back out after sitting for that long?
I don't know exactly how long it was, but he threw 2 or 3 different times during that period. We would have never thrown him out there and, so to speak, start all over. We had him Tolson. He was on a pitch count. We were hoping he could get out. He was at 67 when he went out for the 6th. And a couple of things happened, and he ended up at 90. I thought he had a very, very good outing. He was 1 pitch away from being taken out because of the pitch count.
Mike, granted, it's 1 weekend and a very small sample size, but just your thoughts on the new weekend starting rotation, just how the weekend went?
I thought they passed the test. I think they'll have exams coming up when we start our conference play. But I certainly do like an awful lot of arms on this baseball team. And we've got to do little things as hitters to ensure that we score a run when we get a chance. We had a man on second today and nobody out. Didn't move him. I think we ended up scoring somehow, but we've got to attempt hard to move that man to third base because we rely on our pitchers. And last year we didn't demand this as much because we had an awful good offensive club, and we allowed them to not be, we weren't so demanding, but hit the doggone ball the right side, take 2 shots to the right side, move that runner. And that's why I started off this thing by talking about how impressed I was with Borny Gal's at bat, getting that runner in from third. I think that there's a lot of room for improvement. We've got the young men with outstanding attitudes. I don't say this early, but I like the attitude of this ball club. When you look at us, we're pretty young. We're playing a lot of freshmen. Count the freshmen for me, please, that played today. I'm going to guess 8 that we played today.
Heron, Albert, Swanson, Pollock, Grady, Ahern.
7. And that's a credit to Mike Bell and Meat and Clyde for getting those guys ready in a short period of time to compete. Troy, I keep wanting to say Troy State. Troy is a good baseball team. They're solid, and they had some good athletes. I bet you we made more errors in the 3-game series than they did. They didn't make any today, and we made 3. A good baseball team.